Hey guys, it's your boy Hollywood Steve back again with another video, guys. All right, so review of Smackdown. Now, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I just kind of read some reviews on it, and so obviously we had the Bloodline open the show, the original Bloodline, Jimmy and Roman, and Jay comes out. Jay interrupts Roman and Jimmy and is talking, it just says basically, hey, if we're going to do this, I need an apology, da-da-da. Sami then comes out. Sami Zayn interrupts everybody. And Sami is like, hey, look, if we're actually going to do this thing, okay? He said, if we're going to do this thing, if we're going to reunite, I need an apology. But he said, not to me. He told Roman that he needed to apologize to Jay for what he put him through. Everything that Roman put Jay through, he needed to apologize. And Roman apologizes, Sami says, Roman tells Sami, You're not Uso, you're not blood. Sami says, but family isn't just about blood. Families, we were a family. If we want to reunite this family, what happened at Crown Jewel was amazing. When I got in the ring, it was like old times. We were, it was like the old bloodline was reunited, and it felt so good, and Roman and Sami walks off and kind of leaves Roman and Jimmy and Jay kind of standing in the ring, and more would come later on in the night, and then we had Candice LeRae taking on Bayley. Bayley picks up the victory over Candice LeRae. And also, Nick Aldis revealed a brand new women's championship, a women's mid-card title. A mid-card championship. The Women's United States Championship. And that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. The women's division needs a secondary title, needs a mid-card championship, in my opinion. Just because that women's division is so stacked right now. They are so stacked with talent. So stacked with talent, and these other women need a title. Need a title to fight for, instead of just the tag titles and the women's championship. And so it'll be interesting to see how they do this. If it's going to be, if the winner's going to defend the title on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, or if it's just going to be SmackDown, specific. If it's just going to be a title that's on SmackDown only, or if it's going to go across all three brands, like the tag titles, which are a complete joke. I've said this before. The women's tag titles are just a joke. And anyway, so we had that announcement. We had Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, KO pile drived Randy after their little segment I was reading, and he pile drives him. Randy Orton had to be did an injury angle where Randy Orton was taken out on a stretcher and taken to a local medical facility for further evaluation because he got dropped on his head. And as you guys know, Randy Orton's had back surgery, so getting dropped on his head was not a good thing. So we're doing a angle there for that. But they're doing an angle there. Probably, maybe Kevin Owens, Randy Orton at Survivor Series. Big old grudge match would be great. Would be cool. Would be cool. We have the Street Profits and DIY backstage, and they're just kind of talking back and forth. And Street Profits kind of just undercut DIY, and I'm sure they're talking about how that Street Profits need to be in the title picture. They deserve to be in the tag title scene. They are one of the greatest tag teams. They are super talented, especially Montez Ford. That man can do things that no other human being should be able to do. The height that he gets on that frog splash. I mean, he goes to another stratosphere. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. So we had DIY taking on it's Pretty Deadly. And Tommaso just was unhinged during this match. And so DIY picks up the win. DIY picked up the win there. Just look through the results here. Let's see here. DIY defeats Pretty Deadly after Ciampa hits Elton Prince with a fairy tale ending, and pre-match Ciampa shunned Gargano for cozying up to the Motor City Machine Gun. So we're teasing here a Ciampa heel turn, I do believe, and it is going to be gold. It will be gold if they do anything like they did in NXT. It will be absolute gold. Then we had Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill taking on Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. And Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill beat Jax and Stratton via pinfall. After Bianca Belair caught Stratton with the KOD pre-match, Jax chewed out Stratton for having this match booked. So, I wasn't too happy. Motor City Machine Guns took on A-Town Down Under, and Motor City Machine Guns picked up the win with their Skull and Bones finisher. I love that finisher. That is an awesome finisher. And in the audience, UFC Light Heavyweight Champion Alex Pereira was spotted. Then we got Nia Jax taking on Naomi for the Women's Championship for next week. And next week it's going to be Motor City Machine Guns against the Street Profits for the tag team titles. And then like I said, Nick Aldis introduced the Women's United States Championship. So we're going to start getting some qualifying matches for that. So overall, it seemed like it was a pretty decent episode of SmackDown. And Solo actually came out with the Solo actually came out and they were going back and forth, and so they were going back and forth. Hang on here. So Solo came out. They were just kind of going back and forth on just everything that's going on with them. And Bloodline reunites with Sammy. They throw their wands up in the air, up in the sky. We got a Bloodline reunion. Bloodline reunites for Survivor Series War Games. It looks like we're gonna get a 4-on-4. The Usos, Roman Reigns, and Sammy against Solo, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tangaloa. Gorillas of Destiny. So we're gonna get a 4. Looks like we can get a 4-on-4 instead of 5-on-5. So we're gonna get that for War Games, which I think is gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good. I love this. I love this Bloodline storyline because it's just so many different ways they could go. It's just so many different ways they could go with this. It's awesome to just see how they're doing this. And we had somebody else from the Noah family signed with WWE. I forget his name. And he was in WWE. He was in WWE for a bit a while back. I'm gonna Lance on Hawaii. There we go. Lance on Hawaii. So Lance on Hawaii has signed with WWE, and he's going to specifically be featured on NXT. So if they're going to do anything similar to what they did with Solo, kind of let him kind of get his feet underneath him, kind of get some reps in, kind of just get a feel for the WWE way, and at some point bring him back up, bring him up to the main roster, bring him up to SmackDown, and make him part of the Anoa'i family, the bloodline. Also, WWE has signed, we know that WWE signed Hikuleo, so they are working on, I believe they are working on creative plans for that. So let's take a look here. Let me just take a look here. Okay, so Hikuleo signed with WWE in 2024, just this year, after his New Japan contract expired. And Hikuleo is expected to start his WWE career in NXT. So we'll have to see where Hikuleo goes. What Hikuleo does there. Let's see, what do we got here? It looks like Hikuleo debut plans revealed. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so Dave Meltzer wrote, there's no confirmation as to when Hikuleo is going to make his NXT debut, but Hikuleo So we have, it says here, I'm just going to read this here. A report recently emerged that Hikuleo had been added to the WWE internal roster amid a speculation of a debut. In July 2024, it was confirmed that New Japan, that NJPW Strong Tag Team Champion, had signed with the WWE. His signing would have presumably brought another member of the Bloodline into the WWE alongside his brothers Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. However, it was recently reported that Hikuleo had instead been added to the WWE NXT internal roster, with it being expected that he would spend time on that brand. Dave Meltzer has clarified the plans for Hikuleo on his Wrestling Observer Radio, stating, Hikuleo is going to NXT first, and that is confirmed. So at the time of writing, there is no confirmation as to when Hikuleo will make his NXT debut. So it looks like Hikuleo is actually going to go to NXT first. Then he's going to go up to the main roster. Most, one can assume that he's going to go up to the main roster eventually. So same thing with Alex Anoa'i, who signed with the WWE. So we got two family members from the Anoa'i family signed with WWE, and looks like they're going to start in NXT. So it doesn't look like right now we're going to continue that Bloodline storyline. Looks like that's going to be kind of off on. They're going to kind of leave those guys in NXT for right now, so they can kind of spend some time on the NXT brand, kind of get familiar with the WWE way, and just kind of going from there. But I plan to eventually see them up on the main roster in some capacity with the Bloodline, whether it's on Roman's side or whether it's on Solo's side. Just kind of depends there. But that being said, we have our War Games match set. It just has to be made official, but it looks like it's going to be Roman Reigns, the Usos, and Sami Zayn taking on Solo, the Tongans, and Jacob Fatu. So, a 4-on-4 War Games match. Could Hikuleo somehow, some way be part of that? Could believe Alex Anoa'i, could he somehow be part of that, in some way? But I don't think so. I think it's just going to be the 4-on-4. But then again, crazier things have happened. Triple H is known for swerving us and throwing us a swerve, so we'll have to see what happens at Survivor Series War Games. But that being said, guys, that is kind of the rundown for my little review of Smackdown this past Friday. Sorry, I was kind of all over the place, but I just kind of had to read the review and kind of give you guys my thoughts, and that since I really did not watch it yet, so I have not watched Smackdown, so that was kind of my review, kind of from what I was reading, kind of just the match rundown, just kind of, the review there on that. So, guys, hey, make sure, like I said, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, okay? Tell your friends all about this channel, guys. Please tell your friends all about this channel. Again, make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember, guys, this is Hollywood Steve. And when you're Hollywood Steve, it's for life.